So if you're coming from Premiere or Final Cut, editing into DaVinci Resolve it will be a really easy thing to do, especially because from DaVinci Resolve 15 you're able to customize your shortcut layout. You can make it similar to Final Cut as it already is, and as similar to Premiere, or just custom by going into DaVinci Resolve and pressing keyboard customization. By going into keyboard customization, you just make all your customization. But what I suggest is just to stick with the Resolve original ones because it's already super easy and these are super handy. So the first thing that you want to know is A, differently from Premiere, but equally from Final Cut. A will be the shortcut to select your arrow, and B will be the shortcut for the blade. So the great thing is that just by going in your timeline, if you want to create cuts, you just have to press Command B. And as you can see, I am creating cuts just by pressing B while holding Command. That's super easy if you are, I don't know, maybe working with music videos. That's a super handy thing to do. Also T, and it stands for trim, if you want to select the trim mode. If you want also to use a dynamic trim, you have to press W. With S, you can change the mode of your trim from the slide to your slip slide mode. And you have the normal edit mode with A, as said, and these are all your basics, shortcuts for a fast edit. Another thing that you want to know is that this little guy, the linked selection, help you to de-link the audio from the video, or better, if you want to attach them, you can press Command Shift L, or better, just doing in that way, it will stick them up. The magnet, that is pretty handy, but you guys already know them for Premiere or Final Cut. And another thing that you may want to know is that when you're watching at your footage into the media pool, you can just watching it on the preview window there, selecting your input and output, and just by saying just audio, you can import audio, or just video, you can import video in that way. But you can just dragging in the timeline and insert it, overwrite, replace it, and that's a super handy and fast thing. Just by doing this, you can, I don't know, maybe replace that part, or maybe you just want to overwrite it. And that's great because while you're editing, you may want to watch different parts, different clips, and you want to do this really fast. Maybe you are stopping by and you want to, generate something or insert something in that specific way, and that's another really handy way to do that. Obviously, if you want to loop your clips, that's the loop. Here you have all the other handy tool to watch your video. You have the source file, it's offline when it's like there. You have the audio track, the multicam, your annotation, and you can also customize your timeline from there. The shortcuts for zooming in or out are Command minus or Command plus. You don't want to do this with your mouse because it's not gonna zoom, but you can just scroll the bar if you are on a Mac or if you're using a trackpad. And yeah, you can add markers. Markers are really great if you have to manage your folders for the color grading. It is great if you want to group them. You want to use flags if you want also to mark just clips, or better, markers for determining points into the timeline, and flags to determine clips. And yeah, by the way, the fastest shortcuts are right there into Trim. I use a lot of them, obviously, but if you want to also, maybe you are with a producer or someone that want to watch at the timeline, and the same way is like, okay, I like that moment with that guy, but let's watch this little part. Okay, I like that most, and I want to drag just the video on that part, want to override it, and yeah, there you go. So Blackmagic, it's obviously, as all the other editing programs, super handy, but the fact that you have these little things, you know, make it even faster to use. The fact that you have all the timelines here, you can just jump on one timeline or another, is great. Another thing that you maybe already saw is that if I'm switching between timelines, the preview for my footage will adapt to the local timeline resolution. So here I have a 239 files, it's adapting to a 60:9 timeline. And yeah, that's it. If you want to work in a even opened way, you can deselect the media pool, and it will be a really handy way. If you want to customize the way you are watching at your timeline, you can obviously drag this up or down. You can choose how you want to view your video or audio options. It can be bigger or just super thin. You can just decide to have the audio with the spectrum inside or without it. All these things are right there. You can just choose the 8 of them. And yeah, everything is super customizable. But by the way, on Trim, you have A for the normal edit mode for the normal arrow, the trim mode, the cancellation mode, the dynamic trim mode, the toggle slip slide mode, the blade editor mode. And that's everything you need to know and you need to use while editing your footage into DaVinci Resolve.